Hey everyone, Stephanie Lucrezio coming to you live. I am super excited tonight. I always love sharing my favorite things. It's hysterical because my friends and family will say when they're buying products, is this Stephanie approved? Because I have very, very strict standards for the things that I put on my body, the things that I put on my skin, in my mouth, things that I lay my head on now. So I had the honor and privilege of meeting this wonderful lady, Lisa Hill, who I'm going to bring on in just a moment, through some of the medical freedom work that I'm doing. And I heard about this pillow, Silverite. So she was kind enough to send me one. And it has been one of the most amazing things that we've done, other than the fact that me and my husband now have something else to fight over at night of who gets in the bed first. So I want to bring her on and introduce her, and then we're going to talk a little bit more. I posted about it the other day, and there was a lot of people who had questions and interest. So I wanted to bring her on because obviously there's no better way to learn about a product than from the person who conceptualized and invented it. So I'm going to bring in the beautiful, lovely Lisa Hill, who is the CEO and founder of Silverite Global, and she calls herself an extreme health advocate, which I can totally get on board with. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for this invitation. Truly, you know what? I get so excited when I can talk about something that I truly know is going to make a difference. And, we were talking before for the show that how did I get so excited about silver and how did I get so excited about functional fabrics and in this space? We always say that we come from a place that sometimes we have had health challenges, right?
Yeah.
And so I was in the medical field for over 22 years, and that's why I'm a healthy vaxxer promoter. I saw firsthand what could happen in those kind of situations.
Yeah.
And then I soon discovered and was faced with the opportunity that we had as healthcare providers that or not say opportunity, but the truth that we did a very poor job of educating people how to stay healthy. So I decided that I was going to take this leap and I was going to go into alternative health. And that's where I've lived and breathed and, expounded upon that messaging. But one of the things that I thought was really interesting, early on, I would watch people come in that were on, that needed antibiotics, right? They had superbugs, they had, really big challenges that had to do with, bacterium or whatever that might be. And soon it became that the body became resistant.
Yeah.
So I went on my own little side quest, as we all do, right? And I started to study about what in nature can help us stay healthy and build an immune system and create a barrier that we don't become unhealthy. So I discovered silver. Now, silver's been early back in the 1900s, even before that, and they would put a silver coin in the canteen of a soldier or people traveling, and what they would find is that helped it stay, without bacterial growth. So we even took it one step farther. And I remember the day that I was wrapping a patient's foot with Silvadene. And I thought, golly, there's Silvadene, there's silver in this cream. What if we took silver and made it almost like a household name? Your body doesn't build an immunity to it.
Right.
So now we always say that, Silverite truly does not cure, treat, or diagnose, but we became the company that talk about functional fabrics. And so when we talk about functional fabric, what does functional fabrics mean? So I've been in the healthcare industry, the alternative healthcare industry, for over 20 years now. We know that we put everything into our body, right? We put vitamins, we put minerals, we put antibiotics, we put all those wonderful things into our body, enzymes and probiotics and all that. But what happens at the end of the day is we are still exposed to the elements. And because your skin is your largest organ in your body, what's going to happen is that we absorb everything, believe it or not. And that's why sometimes you can put a garlic in the bottom of your shoe, right? And you can taste it.
I've done that. Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yep.
So I started to study, and you are so beautiful, and you have studied skin as well. So you know how the skin is this vessel of absorption and also detox.
Yeah.
So I looked at really the fabrics, and I said, what if we infused silver into all the fabrics around us?
Cool.
So we infused all of our fabrics. This is a travel pillow, and I'll tell you a little story about the travel pillow, but truly silver infused fabrics creates a barrier. And that's what we were talking about, a secret sauce, right?
Yep.
And so people say, oh my gosh, this 5G. And I agree with you. I studied with one of the finest quantum physicists, Dr. Yuri Krohn, years ago. And I discovered that, yes, the environment around us, the negative energy fields truly does affect our brain. It affects our growth.
Absolutely.
It affects our thyroid, right? It affects everything. So here we are faced with, who'd have thought? Faced with 5G, it's enough to fry an egg, like in a nanosecond.
And to unroll it during a pandemic. I find that to be so insane that they deployed this unknown technology that hasn't been tested on human health, hasn't had any human safety testing whatsoever, and you deploy it during a pandemic. But that's a whole nother conversation. It just amazes me.
Oh, we have so much to talk about, girl. We're going to have our own show someday.
Yes,
you watch and see. But I think what is so, my children are grown. They're older. But I look at what they're having to face these days. And you know what? The other thing I want to, and you probably read this, but when I started studying health and alternative health, I studied the Pottinger cat study.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't read that, you haven't known about it, there was a Dr. Pottinger that did the Pottinger cat study. And he wanted to prove how our environment, and he wanted to prove what we put into our body, the more contaminated it gets, the more full of, other resources, whether it has nothing to do with nature, right? Pesticides, herbicides, the more that we get it away from nature, that it affects our DNA and it affects the way that we live. So just study that. But what was really interesting, they actually had to stop the study at the 5th generation because the cats were no longer viable.
Wow.
So what they did is they started giving them more and more synthetic foods. They surrounded them with things that weren't healthy. Mm-hmm. And so where do you think we are right now? Now you take a pandemic on top of it. You're exactly right. So Silverite was birthed out of a passion to create an environment that could keep you healthy. And again, so we don't treat, care, or diagnose, but to keep you healthy and give you a peace of mind at rest. So one of the things that I started to study was, how does silver deflect EMFs?
Mm-hmm.
So when people would start to call me and say, you know what, I don't know what is with your pillow, but did you put Valium in that pillow? And I'd say, no, not at all. What I'm telling you is that your head is literally engulfed with this wonderful silver infusion. Now, what silver does, and look it up, I encourage everybody to look it up. What does silver do for EMFs? And also ask yourself the question on the internet, does silver deflect? And that's the word you want to think about. Does silver deflect EMFs? So think about what tinfoil does, right? It bounces. And we were laughing earlier and saying, people that
replacing for a tinfoil that we're supposed to be wearing, right?
I know, right? And truly what is so exciting is silver has been proved that it deflects EMFs. So we can't say that our Silverite does that. We want to make sure of litigations. But isn't it exciting that there is a possibility that our silver infusion, now let me explain what's different about our silver infusion of fabric versus any other silver that's out there, silver infusion of fabric. So we took every thread and it is literally infused with silver, the whole thread. A lot of times they just spray it on, right? They say, oh, you got a silver, infused product, or you have a product that is, has silver in it. Well, we actually do multiple testing on our products to make sure that when you get your pillow, that it actually does have the silver infused in every single fiber. So what that means is that your protection possibly could be greater. So if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to cover my windows with tinfoil, you don't have to do that. Think about, you have a fiber and a fabric that's 100% cotton. Every fiber is covered in silver. So
that's so cool.
Now it makes sense why people are sleeping better. Because I, like you, I have 4 children and a mom and, a business. And so I'm so guilty of not being able to unplug my phone at night.
Oh,
I don't know about you.
Well, we all use our phone for everything. I mean, truly, like I have an alarm clock in my room, but there's something with me and the quirkiness of my alarm clock that I feel like if I set it the wrong way or you press the wrong button, it's on it. So I like to see it like digitally on my phone and know that that's set every day. So I keep my phone, I put it on airplane mode, which I hope makes it better, but it definitely is a concern of mine all the time. And especially like I was thinking the other day, I want to get it for my son because a lot of times I'll go in his room and he's got his laptop or his tablet on his lap.
Okay, so before I forget, this is exciting. So get the travel pillow. Use the travel pillow for your pillow that you put your laptop on.
That is such a good
right?
Okay.
So we put it, our travel pillow was designed.
Like a boppy.
Remember? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was designed for multiple uses. And the
Okay.
travel pillow actually was designed by a medical doctor with myself so the cervical spine was not hyperextended. If you travel and you buy those stupid junky travel pillows and they hyperextend your neck, and by the time you get off the plane, you're like this, right?
So can I tell you a story? My
Yeah.
husband, so we got this pillow, about a week and a day ago, I want to say. And I started using it and I loved it. And he had done something to his neck. He like fell asleep in a chair and his head went back and it was bothering him. So he would, do the heat and all that stuff and feel good. And as soon as he went to sleep and woke up again in the morning, it was like the reset button. Like he started to feel crappy all over again. So he ended up one night, I got home later than him, and he decided to take my pillow. I should have never done that because I haven't gotten it back since. He woke up the next morning and he's like, I don't know what the deal is with this pillow. He's like, but it's the first time, because he's a stomach sleeper. I am too. And he buries his head in his pillow. So it's been a constant battle between the two of us. And I love how it talks to them about the filling, because that's unique too. Like the filling in the pillow, you can adjust and customize for your own liking, whether you want it fuller or thinner, and it kind of molds around you when you're sitting, which I noticed is like being in a cloud.
Absolutely. And let me tell you where this whole design or desire to have a different fill in the pillow came from. So I started to recognize the fact that foam emits a formaldehyde gas. My father, it's 9 years ago this month on the 26th that he went to be with the Lord. But he was a very dynamic speaker, very dynamic pastor. He was a captain of the police force. He was like my biggest hero. And he developed brain cancer. And so I went on this huge quest for what causes brain cancer. Now, of course, we can't identify any one thing, right? We're talking about our cell phones. So we all have cell phone blockers. But I started to study what is neurotoxins. What causes the brain cells to change? What crosses the blood-brain barrier? What was interesting, did you know that foam emits a formaldehyde gas? So what we're doing is we're on our phone, we're laying on a foam we're on our phone, and we're laying on a foam pillow. So what we're doing is we're frying our brain, and then we're allowing these neurotoxins to pass our blood-brain barrier.
Wow.
So think about that for a minute. So I thought, you know what? I can't be the answer to all, but if I can just be an answer to part of the challenge, number one, so that we can limit the toxicity in our environment. So I started to study foam, and I found one of our team members found out about Kapok. I thought, what is Kapok? Never heard of it in my life. Kapok comes from the Amazon rainforest, and it comes from this beautiful tree called the Kapok tree. And I wasn't aware that our children actually read the book, The Giving Tree. It's called Kapok. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Isn't that so cool?
Yeah, that is so
it's a
cool.
giving tree. I mean, the pod opens up. You take out this beautiful, wonderful, cashmere. And we call it nature's cashmere, and we clean it, and then we put it in the pillows. It goes through this process. And so there's no toxins, no chemicals, there's no emitting of formaldehyde. It doesn't like water. So it is very buoyant, and it resists water and moisture. And by the way, the Coast Guard still uses it in their life vest because it's so water resistant. So Kapok has been used for many years.
Okay. We're getting a question. How do you wash the pillow? Can you wash it?
Well, you can't wash the pillow itself. Let me tell you why. Because of the Kapok acts just like think about it, like wool, right?
Okay.
So if you wash it, it's going to end up in a brick.
Okay.
So what I did is I infused. Remember, it's a double casing.
Yep.
So there's a case on the outside because it's filled with it's actually infused with silver. So the silver is very beneficial, of course. So it will resist the bacteria and fungi around you.
Okay.
Wash the outer casing as you will.
Okay.
This will last you a very, very long time. And the outer casing, if you really are, you really want to wash the pillow casing, go ahead and just take the Kapok out. Because remember, we have a zipper in the side.
Yeah.
So
do you want to show that? That's
yes,
pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a zipper in the side, and we know that all of us were designed in, the image of God, but we're all very, very different. So this is the Kapok. Isn't it just lovely?
It's so nice.
And we're so proud of it. Many people would say, I don't want you looking at my pillow. But what you do is you take out the Kapok or you add more in. If you are a bigger person, Like we were invited to be at the Super Bowl, Silverite was, and there's all these big football players, and they were so excited about the pillow because they said they've had so many head injuries, they
Wow.
can't. Their head doesn't cradle at night, right? They never found that piece of comfort. But that again, so take out the cape-ock if you want to, wash the coating, but many
Mhm.
people don't. Treat it like you would treat a down pillow.
Okay.
And so,
Okay.
wash the outer casing. And the other thing I like to do is once a month, I throw it in the dryer, or I just lay it outside. Years ago we
In the
used to have
sun. Yeah,
clotheslines,
I
but
remember
lay it
those.
outside, beat it, and it should be good.
So what about like dust mites? I know you mentioned it's like antifungal, antimicrobial. Do you have to worry about like dust mites building up inside the pillow like you would? I know in down specifically, down is like a breeding ground.
Yes. Well, here's the cool thing. So a real good friend of mine by the name of Doug Kaufman, you probably know him, right?
Yep.
He has a show called I Know the Cause. And I have been a big fan of his for years. And so we did a show with the pillow. And this is what he said. He said, every other pillow will cause the dust mites to marry, have families, poop, and proliferate. So what happens is the reason that your down pillow gets heavier is because the dust mites like it. Dust mites do not like kapok. It doesn't
That's
create
good
an
news.
environment of moisture. And I
Okay.
also read a study where the average pillow, now think about this for a minute, a lot of bells and whistles will go off. I didn't even think about this. So a lot of people, I remember years, probably about 10 or 15 years ago, my doctor friends were saying, I don't know what's up. People are coming in. I've never had this degree of allergies before. What's going on? And so then as I started to learn about this, think about this for a minute. If you were sleeping on a pillow, and I, have long hair, had longer hair than before. And so I go to bed at night with wet hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even, I throw the pillow in the washer and then bring it back. It might be damp inside.
Yep.
Within 3 months, the average pillow has mold in it. So now you're sleeping on not only dust mite poop, but you're sleeping on mold, which emits what? This toxin, right?
Yeah.
Aflatoxin. And so that's the reason why a lot of people wake up in the morning, they got to blow their nose, their head is stuffy. It's not because you might have allergies, which you may, but I'm just saying it may be that your pillow is making you sick.
Wow.
So if you are breathing in these microtoxins, if you are breathing in these spores of fungus, and if you are breathing in all this formaldehyde, what happens to the nasal cavities and your trachea and your head and everything else? So I really encourage everyone to take a solid look at it. This is not a vanity product whatsoever. This is a health product.
Yeah.
And this is for the health of our children. It's for the health of our families. And it's also for the protection of our brain.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the protection of the brain. Let's talk a little bit about like the silver and the 5G. I know we touched on it briefly, but let's dive into it because let's face it. I mean, we are living in some scary times as far as the amount of stuff that we're exposed to. I mean, computers, cell phones. You think about how many devices you have in your house that are transmitting all the live long day. And the truth is we really don't know what the long-term effects are going to be. There's been no generation.
No idea.
Our kids are literally guinea pigs. I mean, truly. Because they're the first generation that are really growing up with these devices from the times that there's 2-year-olds that are like, they do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I think it's so important to do everything you can to protect yourself. So those pillowcases, is there anything we need to know about the casing that's in it? I know you mentioned the zipper case. All the fibers are infused with the silver, which we know is helping to ward off 5G and EMF rays. Anything else that we need to know in regards to that? Because that's really the biggest thing for me. I mean, knowing about the toxins and the molds and the dust, the dust mite poop now, like I have a whole new set of issues that I need to deal with.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy? But truly, this is one of the biggest aha moments I had. So I listened to Dr. Mercola. I studied with Dr. Wiles years ago. So I know all the big names out there are warning us about 5G. Well, excuse me, but what the blank are we supposed to do about it? We can't live in a bubble. We can't live in a tinfoil hut. So we have to incorporate. Yeah, I know. We have to incorporate things that we can afford. Also, we have to really be cognitive of that and respectful of where everybody is right now in the middle of a pandemic. So that both of these cases, now remember something, both of these cases are infused and every thread is encased with the silver. So
Wow.
you're literally, when you're laying your head down, and what I usually do is I make a little, I'm like a little puppy, right? So I make a little divot
Burrow.
in the middle of the pillow and I burrow my head in it. And so all the way around my head, I have this wonderful pillow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really believe that that's a reason some people, not only for the lack of neurotoxins, but I really believe that that is having a very distinct protection quality for our head.
Yep. And that's what we really want to protect. So someone just said that they're very excited to see that K-pop doesn't come from animals, which I was happy about as
No,
well.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Which
we're
is
very
lovely.
eco-friendly, Bobby Kennedy and his message and his support for our ecology system and our, environment. And that's really exciting to me. And I will do everything I can to respect that. We have one planet, right?
Absolutely.
And we have, a few K-pop trees here and there, not here, but I mean in the equator and across the globe. But what is exciting to me is we do not damage the earth by finding protection and health for ourselves.
Beautiful.
Silver comes from nature, 100% cotton comes from nature, K-pop comes from nature, and the zipper, again, I just want to address this one last time, is that we are all different. There probably is not one person that is matching because, right, we're made in the image, right?
Yes.
And we're all beautifully and perfectly formed. But between our ear and our shoulder, we're all very, very different. That's the space that you want to pay attention to when you're looking for comfort of the cervical spine and cradling the head. And so that's why I made it adjustable. Now, it
Okay.
might be that maybe, down the road you go, oh, I need it a little bit fuller. Take out the K-pop, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then adjust it, mold it. Don't be afraid. Beat it up. Find it where your head is just absolutely a perfect fit for you. I have some guys that are like, I need more K-pop. Well, just give me a call, we'll send you more
I was just
K-pop.
going to ask you, can you order more if you need
Yes,
to?
absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
That's so good to
Just ring
know.
me up. Yeah, call customer
Okay.
service and we'll get you some more K-pop.
Now, someone's asking about, obviously we can't treat, prevent, or cure anything, but if you do suffer with issues with like migraines or headaches, I'm assuming that there has to be some benefit because silver is like the cure-all for just about anything and everything. I use it consistently. I'm constantly spraying it down my throat and doing all kinds of stuff.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you one other thing that we found is, I work with when I developed this whole thing was I visited with, neuroscientists. I worked with brain surgeons. We actually had a study done, an initial study done on thermogenics. So the reason sometimes we wake up at night, we turn over in bed is not because our body's uncomfortable. It's because our head is hot. So think about that. Down is created to make you warm. Foam, whether it's an open cell or closed cell, they both heat you up.
Yes.
If you're sleeping on a plastic pillow with water in it or whatever it is, that's going to heat you up.
Absolutely.
So this is a cooling for your head. Now, migraines sometimes start by the inflamed veins
Area. Yes.
and arteries and all the muscles and all your tissues behind your neck. So this helps it to relax. The other thing I want to share is that, I almost lost it. The other thing that I want to share with you is that the travel pillow, remember that it's ergonomically designed. So when you are at home in the lazy boy, you're doing whatever, this is designed so it goes behind your head. It's flat, but it comes up around your neck.
Oh, that's so cool.
See how it supports your muscles and right in here. So we have many people that are, doing dialysis and they say, I just can't relax because their magnesium is so deficient. Their potassium is off the charts. But this will help your neck relax because it supports both sides of your neck. And it also, you take it off, you wash it. So it has an outer coating. If you're running through, an airport, and you're going, oh, I need a travel pillow. So many, 99, almost 100% of the time I was disappointed.
It's honestly, I have to tell you, one of the things that I deal with constantly is the fact that when I'm sleeping at night, my pillow never really forms completely to my head. So I'm always putting my hand underneath my pillow for support. And then I wake up and my hands is, stiff and falling asleep, like that tingling pins and needles feeling.
Yes.
So it's definitely an issue. Definitely an issue.
Don't go anywhere without, if you can't pack your big pillow, pack the travel pillow. I don't go anywhere without it. And it goes on top of the hotel pillow because, you can't do anything about it. So now you're not sleeping on the grungy, yucky stuff.
Yes. And the website is Silverite Global, right? .com?
Yep. Silverite Global with a RITE.
No, let me just make sure.
silveriteglobal.com.
Okay, I just want to make sure
And
that the
remember,
ticker.
they get a code. They get a code from
Yes,
loving
I'm
you,
going to talk
Stephanie.
about it. Yes, I'm just fixing the website because I realized I spelled it wrong. So I want to make sure that it's right. See what happens when you do things while we're talking and super excited. So it's silveriteglobal.com. And I want to thank you because you're offering a special discount to all of my followers, which is awesome.
Yes.
That's the reason I wanted to come live, because I'm like, anytime I could bring people something that's great and give them a discount, like, it's a good thing. So tell them it's WW20 is the coupon code that you're going to use. You're going to go to
20% off.
silveriteglobal.com. You'll get 20% off of your purchase. I'm going back on to order a second pillow, and now I have to order the travel pillow for underneath my son's laptop when he uses it. Plus, now that I know that the fungus and the mold and the dust mite poop, like, I feel like I have to get rid of all of my pillows now. Like, I'm going to have to do a pillow overhaul. My husband's not going to be happy about that one, but we're going to do it.
I'll hook you up, girl. But the other thing I want to remind everybody is that Christmas is coming. And I believe that this Christmas is going to be a very different Christmas for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
I've already told my children and everybody else, I said, you know what, this is going to be a Christmas that everything that I give you is going to have a meaning. So we look at what's going on in our environment. We cannot control COVID. We cannot control some of the, the global things that are going on, but we can control some of the small actions that we take. And every quarterly we give to Silverite gives back. So we choose, a company or a foundation to give back. So we're real big on giving back and helping out. So I hope that we get to the day that we buy a pillow and we give a pillow. How's that?
That is going to be amazing. And I have to say, like, for the people that are watching this, for the most of us, we are in a medical freedom fight right now. We have been for the last, I feel like forever. I haven't had like a real peaceful night's sleep before probably September of last year. And one thing that I'm really passionate about, and really why I wanted to do this, is because I talk to so many of the people in our movement that are just exhausted and like on the edge. And I know this work takes a toll on you. I mean, we work a lot of times a full-time unpaid job just to continue to get freedom for our kids. And the one thing I want to say to all of you is we need to take care of ourselves. We need to make sure that we're doing the self-care, that we're getting the proper sleep, that we're boosting our immune system and doing all the things that we can to make sure that we stay strong and healthy, because the truth is we need every single one of us strong, healthy, and vital in order to continue to win. So my heart is always in helping however I can, to make sure you guys are strong, healthy, and able to be with me linking arms, because we know we're heading to Trenton next week on the 24th. Yes. Woohoo! Go, we will not comply. So make sure that you guys take care of yourselves. Go on silveriteglobal.com. Order your pillow, enter our special code WW20 just for being here tonight. If you're watching this on the replay, you can still go in and enter that code. It will be there. They are standard size pillows, right? There's no like.
Yes, they're queen size at this moment. But remember that they're not the normal queen, because we have a gusset all the way around.
It is a bigger
gusset,
queen.
so it will fit, in your crook of your neck.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you, if you're going to order one, just do yourself a favor and order one for your spouse, because me and my husband, literally, it has become a race to go to bed at night, and whoever gets there first gets the pillow, and he always wins.
I'm so happy.
So I got like 4 nights on it. And then once he discovered it, it was good riddance to me.
Game over.
Game over. He's like, when you want one, you can order another one, because I know if you're sleeping it on every night, it's never going to happen. I'm not going to get it. I'm like, you're right. You're right. So it's definitely been such a pleasure to have you. The one thing I want to mention is, besides Silverite Global and the pillows, Lisa Hill was introduced to me through Brio TV. So we're also working together on the mission to bring truth news and welcome people, our freedom fighters, all the people in our movement that are looking for real information. We know that Plandemic was on for like, what, 15.7 seconds on social media before it was taken down. And so we want everybody to go over and check out Brio TV. I have officially been kicked off of YouTube, and I haven't even had that long standing of a relationship with them. So that just shows how censored we actually are at this point. If you don't know about Brio TV, it is where Truth TV will live. We will make sure that things that are real stay safe place to live. So check it out. We also have a special code for Brio TV. They've been kind enough to giving us all kinds of things tonight. So Freedom Warriors is your discount code if you want to go on and be a founding member. We are building this community, so we need all of you to leave your YouTube accounts where censorship is just the nature of the game, and come over to Brio TV where freedom and truth can live. So we are partnered on 2 amazing missions, and I'm so blessed and so thankful that I had the opportunity to meet you and work with you and now go live with you, which is like,
oh, this is so exciting.
So much fun. So much fun.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, again.
Yes, I appreciate it. So if you have not gone on, if you have questions, you can reach out to me. I have access to Lisa. I'm happy to answer any questions that have not been answered so far. I think we got all of the ones that are on this live. Yeah. What's your return policy? They want to know.
Well, right now, because of COVID, we can't take any returns. So I apologize for that. But it's very stringent right now. So that's
I'm
the best I can do. So I apologize.
Products in Home Goods. I bought my dog like one of those fluffy pet beds that she doesn't like. And they're like, no, let's take it back because of COVID. I'm like, oh,
isn't that crazy?
It's insane. So you won't need to return it though, because you'll absolutely love it.
And remember, everybody, you get 3 payments.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, honey. Yes, it's a payment product. We wanted to make the entry so attractive and no barriers. So come on, just, pay your payments. So once every 3 months.
That's so good to know. I'm so thankful. Any other questions that we didn't have a chance? If you're watching it on the replay and you have questions, just feel free to inbox me. That 20% off code is something that's going to be there. So definitely utilize it. Take a look at the website. You will love it just as much as I do. And the amount of thought and heart and like love and passion that you have for what you do is one of the things that really inspires me most about you. You can feel how into what you're doing you are. So I thank you so much for bringing us such a beautiful product that brings peace and health and joy to so many people.
Oh, bless your heart. I'll just leave you with this. You know what? Sleep clean and be kind. Right?
I love that. Now that is
Sleep clean and be kind.
That's a t-shirt.
Amen, girl. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you for everyone for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
For always listening and being part of the conversation. If you are in New Jersey and you are against the flu shot mandate, that is currently a bill, Senate bill, Assembly bill. Both bills have been introduced. It's not on the agenda, but we are out ahead of the curve. We will be in Trenton on September 24th. We're going to have a lineup of amazing speakers. So I encourage you to come out, link arms with us, and let's rise up together against medical tyranny and the removal of parental choice in New Jersey. My child, my choice. So thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for coming on. All right. Take care. Have a good night. Thank you, everybody.
God bless.
God bless you all. Bye.